the radio, been watching since a baby, so I'm representing KC-Mo. KC-Mo, roll. I'm representing KC.
Hi, Kansas Sports TV here, back with another video, and another video about Kansas State. And we're going to be talking about the Kansas State spring game that just took place, I think, what was it, about a few days ago to a week ago? I don't remember the exact date. But Bill Snyder led his first spring game this year, the spring game this year, and as usual, he had some positive things to say, but he had a lot of negatives to say, and he was missing a lot of his guys. There's 13 injured players, but let's get into it now. He was even asked a question. This is strange, so that's why I'm just like trying to think about how to word this. Bill Snyder asked the question, wasn't there a lot of positives to take away from today's game? Because he was being so negative about his press conference. I'll leave a link down in the description to his press conference. But he was being so negative, and he was asked that question, and Snyder said, I think more along the lines of the things I don't like. And so that's why, of course, that's kind of like I associate with Bill Self. So I can understand that from a coach. I think that's what he's gonna say in the press conference. He's not trying to build players' egos up. But K-State's purple team defeated the white team 38-6 in front of about 13,500 fans, which is pretty good for spring game. It's pretty good attendance for a spring game. But some, like I already said, I remember this game, for the amount of players that were out injured. 13 players. 13. I'm not even going to list them all because it would just take me 5 centuries to try to pronounce the names. And it's just not worth it. So, 13 players injured. All expected to be ready to play, so they're not major injuries. They're just all injured at the same time, somehow with minor injuries. All are supposed to be ready for the beginning of the 2017 season. So maybe we didn't see some of the players that might play, or some of the battles that might happen in spring training. So we don't know maybe the full story on some of these players. Jeez, my hair is going crazy here. See that? But anyways. Top defense lineman Will Geary was also not in attendance. And Snyder declined to explain why. That's strange, but I don't know that much about it, so I'm not going to say anything. It seemed appropriate that Snyder left his usual spot on the sideline and watched the second half from the press box, as he was probably being too negative. He probably would have been too negative towards his players, and he wanted a different view, and he didn't want to be around the players. He probably wanted to think to his own self, out loud maybe, about what he thought about the game. And as usual, spring games, time for players that maybe don't get as much reps to shine and show if they deserve to be playing in the game. Supposedly Isaiah Zuber, sophomore receiver, grabbed 8 passes for 96 yards for a touchdown. And other players that stepped up in offense were Carlos Strickland, Dalton Schuon, and I think that's how you pronounce it, and Brogan Berry, Brock Monty, and Zell Goopley all came with interceptions on defense. And Bill Snyder was quoted to say, the plus side is the opportunity for the 2s and the 3s to move up the ladder. So just basically saying what I already said. Spring game, time for unsung heroes to shine. And the most obvious battle, though, and the biggest thing about the spring training game coming into it, spring training, I keep thinking baseball, sorry. I'm just so mad at the Royals right now, I keep thinking baseball. But anyways, the most obvious thing was the Wildcats try to throw the ball, was that the K-State spring games are usually filled with arrowheads. State quarterbacks often called running plays or took off scrambling when passing plays broke down, which is strange, as I just said. And it just leaves the door open. Who in the heck's going to be the quarterback? And if nobody's throwing the ball, is it really going to be a quarterback favored by Bill Snyder? Because he hasn't even made a decision. Has anybody really stood out? Because there's not really any pocket passers in that group that maybe Bill Snyder would typically go with. So Dalton ran the ball 15 times. Third string quarterback Skylar Thompson ran it 10 times while completing 10 of 17 passes and 12 yards in interception, which isn't bad for your third string quarterback, I guess. But I don't know what defensive players in this are going up. That's interesting. And then sophomore running back Alex Barnes led the way with 69 yards and 2 touchdowns. Junior Justin Stillman added 34 yards and a touchdown. Dalton finished the game. So the running backs are probably the most impressive in the game besides the other players I mentioned. Quarterbacks are probably more thing. So the big thing from this game, the big thoughts from this game. Who next going to be quarterback for Kansas State at the beginning of the year? No idea. Absolutely no idea. I think that's going to be a big part, and we're going to have to wait till the beginning of the season for Bill Snyder to pick that. So that's all I have to say about the Kansas State spring training game. All in all, it was a game where the quarterbacks didn't shine, and quarterback didn't stand out, so we have no idea who's going to be the quarterback. Where unsung heroes shined, where you actually saw some unshown heroes being shown in a way that you could see and appreciate it, and some of the 2s and 3s to step up, as Bill Snyder said. So that's what the spring training game, that's what it was useful for Kansas State. Please like, comment, subscribe, as I'll be covering Kansas State football more and more, and I'll be covering other Kansas sports. So make sure to check out the channel, and see you guys later.
On the radio, been watching since a baby, so I'm representing KC-Mo. KC-Mo. Roll. I'm representing KC.